A sunny morning, a church picnic, a boat named. What began as a day of joy became a nightmare that shattered a community and vanished from history. This is the story of the deadliest disaster in New York City before 9/11, and the German immigrants who were its forgotten victims. In 1904, Manhattan's Lower East Side was home to a vibrant German-American enclave. On June 15th, St. Mark's Lutheran Church chartered a paddle wheel steamer for its annual picnic. Over 1,300 souls boarded, mostly women and children dressed in their Sunday best. For many it was their first escape from tenement life, but the was a floating death trap. Built in 1891, its safety equipment hadn't been updated in years. Life preservers were stuffed with rotten cork, fire hoses crumbled like paper, and Captain William Van Schaik, a man more concerned with schedules than survival. As the navigated Hellgate, a stretch of river notorious for shipwrecks, a child spotted smoke below deck. A carelessly tossed match had ignited oil-soaked rags in the lamp room. Crewmen tried to douse the flames, but the hoses burst. "It was like trying to put out hell itself," one survivor later said. Captain Van Schaik made a fatal choice. Instead of docking, he raced toward North Brother Island. The wind fanned the flames. Mothers screamed as fire engulfed the decks. Children, trapped by heavy woolen clothes, burned alive. Panic erupted. Lifeboats were wired to the ship. Life jackets disintegrated into dust. Desperate mothers strapped rotten preservers to their babies and tossed them into the river, only to watch them sink. The ship's paddle wheel churned the water into a graveyard. Women and children jumped overboard in swarms, a witness recalled. The current sucked them under like toys. On shore, nurses from a quarantine hospital dove into the river, but for most, rescue came too late. Bodies washed ashore for days. A cannon fired over the river to loosen the dead from the mud. The toll was unimaginable. 1,021 dead. Kleindeutschland became a ghost town. Over 600 families lost everything. Widowers roamed streets clutching photographs. Suicides spiked. "The heart of our community was torn out," a survivor wrote. Public fury turned to Captain Van Schaik. At trial he claimed he'd saved the city by avoiding dockside gas tanks, but the truth? These owners, the Knickerbocker Steamboat Company, had bribed inspectors for years. Van Schaik served just 3 years in Sing Sing, the company never charged. A marble fountain in Tompkins Square Park is all that remains. "Why was this tragedy forgotten?" asked Adela Liebenau, the last survivor. "The Had millionaires. We were just immigrants." World War I buried the memory deeper. German books burned, streets renamed, Kleindeutschland faded into the East Village. But these ashes sparked change. New laws mandated lifeboat drills, fireproof materials, and crew training, standards that save lives today. There wasn't just a ship, it was a mirror of an era, of neglect, prejudice, and resilience. Its victims? Not just numbers, but seamstresses, teachers, dreamers. Their story is a warning. Disasters are never accidents. They're choices, and choices can be remembered or erased.